What's going on, everybody, and welcome into another episode of the Ken Wregget Friends Show. Of course, brought to you by 31 Sports Bar and Grill right there in Bridgeville, PA. Kenny is generally there, and if you go in there and hang out, you probably get a chance to shake his hand, talk some hockey, and check out that jersey right behind him. We're going to talk a little bit more about the specials and cool things going on at 31 Sports Bar and Grill this week. First, I want to touch on the red-hot Pittsburgh Penguins. They've won 8 out of 10 games. Sidney Crosby right now obviously is proving once more that he's still one of the best players, if not the best player in all of hockey. They're getting contributions from everyone. Brian Boyle has been terrific. They have just been red hot, and I think obviously they've shown that they are a contender for a cup once more. Mike Sullivan already proving that he is a candidate, of course, for Coach of the Year, which he's deserved in the past. The best place to watch a Penguins game? It's not even questionable. It's the 31 Sports Bar and Grill, right, Ken?
Absolutely. Come on down with best place in town to watch a game in our newly remodeled dining room. Please come down and enjoy yourselves. We're open Tuesday to Sunday at noon. And there's live music every weekend. And who knows who you're going to bump into. And we'd love to see you.
Hey, have you had any good meals there this week? What have you been eating?
I hate to say it, and I probably shouldn't, but I've been doing the Reuben.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that's the deal of the day.
You can't beat a little corned beef, my favorite Thousand Island dressing. Oh, my gosh. I'm sure it's delicious there. My mouth is watering just talking about it. So get on down there. You see the address at the top of the screen right here, Bridgeville, PA. And I tell you what, we're super excited because we got a longtime friend of Ken Wregget's joining us just a minute here. Ken, tell us a little bit about your relationship with Troy Loney.
Troy Loney, when I was young, aspiring young kid playing minor league hockey, minor hockey growing up, I wanted to play in the NHL. And along the way, I got chosen to go to a junior hockey team in southern Alberta, Lethbridge, Alberta. And there I met Troy Loney, and we had some great stories and some great times and just a wonderful experience. And he's a great host, a great guy to have on the show.
Well, you guys are in for a real treat because right now on the Ken Wregget Friends Show, we're going to bring in Troy Loney for a little conversation about how he and Ken go all the way back, their time on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and how their relationship is now. And, of course, talk about that Penguins Alumni Association. All right, it's Troy Loney on the Ken Wregget and Friends Show. We're happy to introduce another friend. And I don't want to date you guys, but you go way, way back. I don't want to make you feel too old. Obviously, you spent the better part of 8 seasons with the Penguins, Troy, and we're excited to talk to you on the Ken Wregget and Friends Show. It's Troy Loney, and I just want to, first of all, ask how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, I've known Kenny too long is probably the right answer, but we're still buddies, still together, so something's okay, right?
This is the 4th episode of the Ken Wregget and Friends Show, and I think every single time we've had the guests roast him in some sense, right, Ken?
Yeah, it's been entertaining, that's for sure. And I wouldn't expect anything different from Troy. I know we do share a couple good stories as well, going back to junior hockey.
Well, we can't wait to touch on those. I think that's certainly something that's going to come up in this interview. But first, let's talk a little bit about those Lethbridge Broncos. You guys formed a relationship, of course, in the early 80s. Talk about that experience a little bit. Ken, I'll start with you and forming that relationship with Troy.
Yeah, that was, I guess that goes back to I was 17 years old, going into, I guess, 1981. And we had I was actually going to head off to play junior 8 tier 2 hockey with the Prince Albert Raiders. Anyways, the coach came down to visit me from word from Gary Sutter, one of the Sutter brothers, the oldest, about Team out in Lethbridge and what they're all about. And John Chapman came down and scouted me, and I decided to make a decision, play Tier 1 Junior A, and went down to Lethbridge, Alberta. I was up in Cold Lake, Alberta. That's north by Edmonton, about 8 hours north. A little cold there right now, and I had the pleasure of bumping into Troy, and it's been a wonderful ever since.
Troy, do you echo those sentiments? You probably heard that Ken Wregget was joining this team, and you were like, I got to go and jump at this opportunity.
Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little different, but yeah, no, it was. Yeah, we happened to be land there at the same time. We had a very good team. We had a really good team, really good coach, lots of good. We were a very good young team,
Yeah.
Lots of guys ended up in the NHL, but yeah, so Kenny and I think we've known each other since we were 17, and we're no longer 17. So that's quite a few years.
Well, if you guys can remember them, let's talk about some memories that you both hinted at earlier from your stints with the Lethbridge Broncos. Troy, I'll start with you this time. It could be on the ice, whether it's a scrap. It can be off the rink. If it's a story you can tell on camera, that's PG. Give us something.
Well, I'll let Kenny tell his favorite story about me because he tells it better than I do. I'll let him tell the story that I know he's going to say anyways. But yeah, I can tell you one of the things that I remember about Kenny was two things. On the ice, our coach had this idea that Kenny was drifting a little bit on his angles, right? He was drifting on his angles. So I think he had skate laces or something with a harness, and he tied him to the middle of the net so he could only go out so far, so he couldn't go anywhere. And one of our guys, I think it was Marty Ruff, took a shot, went to go behind Kenny, and Kenny gets whiplash back, caught the thing. So, but it definitely helped Kenny with his drifting. He had a tendency to drift as a young man.
Yeah. I'm picturing like one of those Mariette dolls that they keep you on a string and can only control you so far.
Yep.
Ken, I didn't realize that you were kind of, being controlled there.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. I don't know. They like a goalie challenging the shooter type of thing, and I get that a little bit too hard, and I came out, and yeah, they wrapped the skate lace around my waist into the center of the crossbar, and you got 20 guys on the ice, and one of them's Troy, and sure enough, someone skates in between the net and myself, and we both went.
Not me. I didn't skate between
Troy.
It
wasn't
Marty.
me.
It was Marty. Yeah.
You're watching the Ken Wregget and Friends Show as a part of the Yins Are Crazy show. And Ken, obviously, Troy hinted at it as well. Spill some dirt on Troy for us, and then we'll see if he agrees with the story.
Yeah. There's no way he couldn't, but no, we like Troy said, we had a really good team, good young group of guys. Our top line was Sutter Loney, obviously Troy and Ron and Richie Sutter. So one day after practice, we're at an off-site practice type of thing. It was probably tractor pull in Lethbridge going on or something. And so it's about a half hour, 20 minutes away. And, you get dressed at the rink, then you drive over in your car, and then you practice and you come back. So we're at the rink practice, and Troy wants to work on a shot after practice. So I said, yeah, all right. So basically he had like 20 pucks or whatever at between the hash marks, between the circles, shooting straight on at me. And I just came out and letting him shoot and trying to stop the puck. He's trying to hit the corners best he could. Every now and then he may hit the post or off the boards if he got lucky. And right near the last shot, sure enough, right there, right between the eyes. Split me over for about 10, 12 stitches.
Troy, it's what you're aiming for, right?
Hey, listen,
the net.
he thinks I missed. To this day, he thinks I wasn't trying to hit him in the head. After a while, it just gets tiring. I had to try to slow him down a little bit, But to Kenny's credit, he hung in there, made the save, So
yeah.
I was checking to see his commitment level to the team.
Hey, as they always say, it's a great way to use your head, right? Ken, you weren't on a string at that point, were you?
No, he's lucky. I wasn't at that point. Yeah.
Fair enough. I had to ask after that.
Yeah.
After that early anecdote. That all obviously is very interesting. I'm sure Penguins fans will love to hear about that story. And of course, as things kind of go on, you guys reunite with the Pittsburgh Penguins. In 1991, you're back together. How excited were you guys to reunite? Ken, I'll start with you.
Yeah, no, I came across with Talkett and Shell Samuelson from Philly in '92, actually, and Troy was there, and to come into the team is like coming into an all-star team, and to play with the guys, it was a great team, and Troy being there, that was a nice level of comfort for me, to see him again, be with them, but just just very fortunate to have a team like that coming off of the Stanley Cup in '91 and have the opportunity in '92 for myself.
Troy, did you feel the same about reuniting with Ken, or you tried to shoot some more slap shots at his forehead?
Well, no. It's good. I tried that during practice, of course, because you still want to know his commitment level. But the good news for us was we definitely we knew the importance of having good goaltending. And maybe Penguins fans don't remember, but I don't know, was it 2 years, 3 years earlier, something like that, Kenny, when we played against you guys in the playoffs, and Kenny just shut us out. We didn't really have a chance. And I think that probably led the Penguins to think about bringing Kenny over from Philadelphia when we had a chance. So got to reunite with a good friend again, and also had a great goalie. So we were very, very lucky.
Is anybody picking your brain in this process, Kenny? Like saying, "Hey, we want to bring Troy over. What are your thoughts? I know that you're familiar with him." Or is that kind of just an assumption that fans and outsiders will make sometimes?
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, it works on a lot of different levels, and obviously, what happens, you try to do the best for everybody in the team, and like I said, we're just working together was great.
Yeah, for sure. Troy, I want to talk about some interesting things, of course, that happened throughout the duration of your career as we entered the early 90s. And this is obviously a little more specific to you. You were left unprotected by the Penguins in the expansion draft, and you were, of course, picked up by Anaheim in '93 after coming off a cup run, of course. What was your first reaction when that happened, and what was just that overall experience like for you?
Well, first I knew I was going to be left unprotected. As soon as we lost, we were going for 3 in a row. We lose that series against the Islanders. I knew I was going to be gone. It's just the way sports works. You get a little older, you start to make a little bit more money. Team doesn't win. There's just this shift. Some younger guys, a little less expensive, come on, you fall off. That's just part of the process. And that year, an expansion year, was the Florida Panthers, and it was Anaheim. So there were 2 teams. I was pretty confident I was going to get picked up by somebody. My experience in Anaheim was awesome. It was a great. If I had to go somewhere brand new with a supporting organization, going with Disney was definitely a good spot. And we had good fans, great facilities. The organization treated us well. We had a good team. We almost made the playoffs that first year, and we were a very tough team. It was a very, very tough team. So that was kind of a new one for me. That was fun to be part of.
I read that you were the first captain of that expansion team. You had a career best 13 goals, and it sounded like you really, obviously I don't want to paint the picture that you enjoyed leaving the Penguins, but I think you were obviously happy to have a more prominent role. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I mean, most of that team, everyone that come at the way that the expansion rules were then, you got mostly guys that were third, fourth line guys, and I was a third, fourth line guy on other teams. And then all of a sudden you go to a team and someone's got to be on the first 2 lines. So, you get a little more chance. I got a chance, for me personally, I got a chance to be on the power play, which I hadn't been on since early in my minor league career, right? I never played the power play with the Penguins. So had some success there. So it was just a nice change. Sometimes you get with organizations for a long time and you really get described as a certain type of player, and you keep in that role because, who am I going to score more goals than Lemieux or Joe Mullen, or go down the line? We had some guys who were kind of okay. So I had a chance to go into a different role with a different team, and it was a nice change. I can honestly say it was a nice change.
Yeah, I think younger Penguins fans can relate. Maybe got their first taste of it this past offseason with the Seattle Kraken selecting Brandon Tanev, a guy that was endeared by a ton of Penguins fans. He's been out with an injury this season, but really, like I said, the first taste of that expansion draft, outside of course, Vegas and Marc-Andre Fleury, which now seems like a handful of years ago at this point. Ken, are you a fan of the movie The Mighty Ducks?
Huge fan. My kids were born right in that era, and I grew up with them, and I enjoyed it myself. I thought that was, as far as hockey movies go, one of the great movies, especially for kids.
Troy, you should have been cast in that, right?
We were just after. Like we were the year after they did it, but we had we got to do, because we're Disney employees basically at that point. We got to go in the Disney. If anyone's been to the Disney parade, Disneyland or Disney World parades, I was right on the float with the chipmunks, Chip and Dale. There I am. Kids look at it, you're like, who is that guy standing on it? So we got to do some really cool stuff with Disney. And I could tell you, this was the first time you really learned that, you really are, there's the sports part about it, and then there's the marketing part about it. With the Penguins at the time, they weren't really a marketing organization, but Disney wasn't a sports organization, but they were a marketing organization, and our stuff was everywhere. We'd go into rinks, and there were probably more Duck jerseys and masks and stuff than there were the home team.
What a natural transition, going from a blue-collar Pittsburgh steel mill to being in a parade with chipmunks.
Hey, we had a quick story. Michael Eisner, who was the CEO of Disney, he calls us over after the expansion draft, all of us, and he goes, "Hey, what do you guys think of the name?" And everyone's kind of mumble, grumble, bumbling, and I said, "Well, I've been a Penguin for 10 years, so this really isn't that much different." It goes from a Penguin to a Duck. But it was, and California, they were really not tremendous hockey fans. Pittsburgh had really grown into hockey and people knew the game. So it was a whole new experience of, it was more of a, I'm at the game, experiencing the game in California than the true hardcore Penguin fans that Kenny and I had.
Yeah, no question about that. Interesting to hear. Yeah, you did remain a bird. If only Lethbridge would have been named like the Ravens or something like that, you could have continued that for a while. Right. Ken, I know you guys have remained really close, obviously, today, especially when you have that relationship for so long with multiple organizations. How have you kept in touch, and are you keeping Troy on, invested in things like the alumni work and things that you're currently helping with?
Yeah, no, Troy is great being back around Troy, and I had an opportunity last summer to go up and golf with them and stuff with the alumni.
Nice.
Both of us try to keep very involved with the alumni and try to help grow it and mainly help the community and work within the people who have helped us through the years, and we try to give back as best we can. And it's just been nice, and it's kind of in a sense of comfort, just having an old buddy that you knew when you're that that young or that long ago type of thing, and it's a comfort, definitely.
Troy, what are some other Penguins? Who are some other Penguins that you keep in touch with to this day from when you're on the team?
Well, we have quite a few guys in town now. I mean, Pittsburgh, for a while, there was very few guys that stayed in the Pittsburgh region. But since we had success with the Cups, there's a lot of guys in town. So, I see Trache quite a bit, as Kenny does, right? We see Trache, Randy Hillier, talk to Phil Bork, try to stay in touch with him. He moved out north where I live, out that area now. And then guys out of town, Paul Stanton, he lives down in Naples, Florida. I try to connect with him once a month just to see how he's doing, what he's up to. So, you try to, you gain friendships when you're playing, and then when you're done playing, you expand on those friendships. And then, some newer retired players like, Tyler Kennedy, Colby Armstrong. Nice to get to know the younger guys, as Kenny would say, because that's how old he is.
Yeah. Ryan Malone was our first guest on the Ken Wregget Friends Show. So there you go right there. I think we get a reunion going at 31 Sports Bar and Grill. What do you say, Ken?
I think that'd be great. We try to, every now and then we'll try to get together with the guys. I know we're looking at February 24th with some of the alumni guys down to watch the game. So with that going on, and again, we have local bands that are frequent sometimes by some of the guys. I know Trotz likes to come down. Who knows, when you see Eddie Johnson, he likes popping in as well. So been very fortunate.
Troy Loney, guy that played for the Lethbridge Broncos with Ken, of course, played with the Penguins with Ken, 624 career NHL games, and one serious slap shot at the head of Ken Wregget in practice. Troy, yeah, really good stuff, man. It's good to catch up with you. From Ken's perspective, I'm sure, here on the Ken Wregget and Friends Show. We can't thank you enough, man. Hope to do it again soon.
Hey, glad to be here. Happy to help Ken out. And I'm trying to convince Ken to open up the deck for the winter. I think it'd be really good to have a winter party outside on the deck when it's like -10 or something.
We got the heaters and his tent is covered in. We can do it, Troy.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll get on.
You guys are familiar with that weather. I mean, Canadians are cool with being in -30. So heck yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. We'll see you there outside on the deck, Kenny.
All right.
Get some heaters and I guess some extra hot wings.
Yep, and we'll call it the Igloo out there. So we'll have her open for you. I think we're thinking of opening it on St. Patty's Day. So the weather turns might be a little earlier than that.
There you go. Get your green beers ready. All right, Troy. Thank you so much, man.
All right. Thank you.
I know yins are crazy, but so am I. Number one sports site in the burg, let me show you why. The latest stories in unbeatable podcast with your favorite athletes. You know you can't pause that. Super Bowl, World Series, Stanley Cup champs. Rising stars, Berg personalities for the fans. We love our city,